You're listening to Fathers Handling Business, where fatherhood meets real talk and real solutions. Here are your hosts, Callie and Dante, ready to dive deep into the art and science of parenting. Let's get started and empower the dad in you.
Let's get started. Go ahead and start.
Welcome to Fathers Handling Business. Check this clip out.
Ready. We never want to make him look bad, and that is at the cost of kind of holding in a lot. I guess it's just like the anger that I haven't really been able to let out is like difficult for me.
I think a lot of people would assume because you're Dennis Rodman's daughter, money wasn't an issue for you growing up.
We had an expedition and we kind of lived in that for a little bit. We tried to live with him, but he's having parties 24/7. He's bringing random bitches in. He loves the spotlight. He loves the cameras. He loves bringing his children on stage and being like, oh, these are my kids. I'm crying. No one knows what the fuck's going on. And I'm like, dude, my dad's here. And then I walk over, and again, there's cameras everywhere. He grabs my head, and I just start bawling into his arms as if, like, it's a daddy-daughter. Like, I lost hope in, like, ever getting him back. I answer the phone now for, like, my conscience to be like, he needed to hear my voice before anything happens. Like, that's why I answer the phone, not for me. Not a dad. Maybe by blood, but nothing else.
Man, that just pissed me all the way off this morning, bro. Like, the entitlement. I can't believe she just said, oh, he's my father, maybe by blood, but nothing else. Like, what are you talking about, bro? Like,
Tell the people why you mad. Tell the people why you're mad.
that's why I'm mad. Like, these entitled kids, I don't like that. I don't like that one bit. Like, first thing it says is, honor thy father and thy mother, so your days may be long. Like, I just found out who this chick is, and you just told me she's on the U.S. women's soccer team. The U.S. women's soccer team. How you think you got there?
Hard work, dedication.
No, I'm not trying to hear that.
No,
you know how
bruh.
many people is out here hard working? No. She got there because she got Dennis Rodman genes. That's how she got there.
No, that
so
doesn't.
she should be thankful for that. Just even if he did nothing for her the rest of her life, then she should be thankful for that. Not coming on other people's podcasts. Oh my gosh, he's not my father. He's only my father. What?
Bro, you are tripping.
I'm not tripping.
You are tripping.
That's how I feel, bro. Like, that's terrible.
So you mean to tell me just because she has Dennis Rodman's genes,
Yep.
that's
should
the
be
reason
thankful.
she should be thankful, but also that's the reason why she's on the U.S. women's national team. That is insane.
Yeah.
That's like
how many players in the NBA right now are sons? Like half the league. Like half the league is foreign players, and then the other half of them are sons now. Because
sons
they have
of, you mean
all
sons
the
of
best,
NBA players?
Yeah, and athletes and other athletes.
Not, I wouldn't say half.
What?
Half?
Bro.
You saying half of the NBA?
Bro, like if we looked at the last rookie class that just came in, dog. First of all, they were all half and half, just like her, all mixed kids.
Well, what does that have to do with anything?
Because they're all most of their dads were former athletes that married, white women.
Okay.
Same thing. Dennis Rodman's daughter is just a former athlete. He got, Dennis Rodman was, he was with the Vanillas, which is fine. That's neither here nor there. But I'm saying that, she's a benefactor of her father. She's not a victim of her father.
Oh, bro. Maybe you got to listen to Alice Cooper's full podcast with Trinity Rodman, because she lays down a lot of stuff, and that was just a short clip, right?
Right.
But she lays down all the reasons why she feels that he has not been a true father, a true dad to her.
Where's this magical book that says this is what you have to do to be a true father? This is what you have to do to be a real father. No, if I give you my seed and you come out, I'm your father. Point blank, period. That's it. There's no book. There's no rule book. There's no parental book. Everybody does things differently. Like some people are some people have past trauma. Some people, obviously, we know that Rodman was not a stable person. You know what I'm saying? Like we know that was Dennis Rodman. Okay, cool. I get that. But to just come out and be like, oh, he's not really my father. Like, what are you talking about? Like, yes, he is. Look at you. You look just like him.
A lot of people would disagree. A lot of people.
That's fine. And they've been wrong before. They'll be wrong again.
Can y'all please tell my man Callie that he is straight tripping this
That's
morning?
fine.
He is tripping.
I'll be tripping, but she pissed me all the way off this morning. Like I don't like I've never even met my father, but I'm thankful that he brought me here. He helped bring me here to life. Like I never even met the man. Like as far as I know, I think he was like married to somebody else. Like how I got here was a terrible circumstance, and we struggle, all that kind of stuff. But I'll never sit here and be like, oh well, that man's not really my father. Yes, he is. Like he's still my father. Like he gave me the tools that I have now to be the man that I am now.
He gave you the tools.
Yes, he gave me the tools.
What tools did he give you?
He gave me the physical tools.
Aside from the seed that he implanted into your mother.
That's enough. That's enough.
No, so he did not give you the tools.
He did give me the tools.
Nah, bro.
I wouldn't have the tools that I have now.
You talk about the wrong father.
Well, I'm not I'm talking about my physical father. I know the tools that I got from my heavenly father. I'm talking about literally my physical father.
So your physical human father helped plant a seed in your mother.
He gave me the tools that I need to grow up and be the type of man that I am, the type of man that I know that I did not want to be, right? Like you either your father either teaches you the man that you want to be or the man that you don't want to be. It's really that simple. And so I knew the story of my mother and my father. I'm like, okay, that's not the man that I want to be. I never met my father, so I made sure that my kids know who I am, right?
Right.
So he gave me the tools to be the man that even in his absence, he gave me the tools that I needed to be the man that I am. So I will never sit here and disrespect my father. I don't know if he's alive or dead. You know what I'm saying? As far as I know, he's dead. But, I'll never sit here and disrespect my father, even though I never even met him, even though he never paid child support one day, never did anything for me physically other than give me, the seed for life and give me the framework on how to be a man, right? The man not to be, right?
Okay, so he gave you the framework of how you don't want to be as a father. So he did not give you the tools in which how to be a man, how to be a father.
If he was here, right? If he was there and maybe he was in and out, maybe he was a good father, whatever, right? Then I would have those tools. I would have that to look at. But I only have what I have.
You have what you have, but there's other men in your life that helped form you.
Okay.
Right?
Okay. That's true.
So how are you giving credit to the person that was never there?
Because the Bible says, honor your father and your mother so your days will be long. The first commandment with a promise. So I will not dishonor my father even though I never met him.
But what does it mean to dishonor your father? What does that mean?
To come on there and be like, oh, well, he was this and he was that and he did this and he's that and he's not really my father. He's only my father by blood. That's dishonoring your parents. That's dishonoring your father.
How is that dishonoring? That's how she feels. She feels that...
That's fine. You can feel however you want to feel, but you still are dishonoring your father.
But see, that's only your perspective.
Okay.
That's your point of view.
And I'm the one talking, so yes, this is my perspective. And
he said, "This is our podcast. This is what I'm talking right now. This is my perspective."
Like, what are you talking about? Yes, this is, and we all have different things that we get from our parents. Fathers specifically, whether they were there or not. Like I said, I told you. Some of my kids, feel a certain way about how I parented. Okay, cool. So whether they know it or not, or whether they like it or not, or whether they didn't love it or not, that's still going to shape who they become as parents, right? So I was the total opposite of my father. Obviously, I was there. They know who I am. They can call me. I always tell my kids I love them, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But they still have a problem. Right. They still have a problem with...
What problems do they have? Have they voiced?
They have... That's the thing. They haven't even voiced it. So I don't know. They have a problem with me for whatever reason. I don't think that's even...
So how do you know they have a problem if they haven't voiced anything?
Because they don't talk to me.
But what if that's not them having a problem? They just not talking to you.
How are those not the same things?
You can not have a problem with someone, but just choose not to speak to them.
How?
What you mean how?
How?
You just don't like.
So if I walk up to you and say, "Hey Dante, how you doing today? You seem like you looking nice today," and you just walk by me, that's not you having a problem with me. You just I just choose not to
No,
talk to you.
no, because what if they are having a problem and they just choosing not to speak? Like, just because someone doesn't speak.
But you answer my question. If I say, Dante, how are you doing today?
Right.
You look nice today, and you don't respond to me, how am I supposed to take that?
You can take it however you want to take it, but that doesn't mean that they have the
No,
issue.
I'm talking
is
to you.
I understand that.
If I said, Dante, how are you doing, and you don't say, I'm doing fine. It's a lovely day, or whatever. You don't have a problem with me?
That doesn't mean I have a problem with you.
What does it
I
mean?
could be internalizing something that happened that has nothing to do with you.
Okay, but if that happens every single day,
So you're saying that your kids never speak to you?
I haven't spoken to my son in 2 years, bro. Like I've texted him and called him and
no
said
response.
happy birthday and all that kind of stuff, and no response. So all the time, every day, I'm coming up to you, hey Dante, how you doing? How you doing? And you just ignoring me, and you don't have a problem with me? Come on, bro. Like, let's be for real.
And
that makes no sense.
Have you asked? Like,
Of course I asked.
All right.
Of course. I mean, I
still
know
no
I know
response?
it is from not from them specifically. I know what it is through their mother. She's told me whatever they said. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? So that's how I know for certain they have a issue with me. I don't even think they know what it is for real, because it's not like I've done anything to them except be there, and you know what I'm saying? And maybe they have a different perspective. That's neither here nor there. My point is that as children, like, we don't know what our parents have gone through or what they are going through. And so for us to come out and be like, well, they're this and they're that, and they did this to me and they did that, like, that's just, to me, that's very disrespectful. That's very dishonoring. Like, my mother wasn't the perfect mom.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And she did some things that I didn't like 100%. Like, of course.
Right.
But I would never get on here and be like, well, my mom is this and my mom is that, and I can't believe she did this and ooh, wow. Like, no, nigga,
I
she was
would.
doing the best she could with what she had. And I don't even mean physically what she had. I mean mentally what she had. Same thing with Dennis Rodman or any other parent or father. They do the best with what the knowledge that they have. And maybe they didn't have the knowledge. Maybe they didn't get love from their parents. Right?
That's true.
You know, like one of my people used to tell me, like, her dad used to come and just, like, read the paper and not even interact with the kids. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But, like, if you look at any 1950s show or something like that, that's what dads did. They just sat on the couch and read the paper when they came home from working. You know what I'm saying? They didn't interact with kids.
There was lack of presence.
Right.
Meaning,
There's
like,
a lack
their
of
physical presence was
there's
there.
a lack of the physical, the play with me, and
Like
you
the
know what I'm saying,
mental, the
nurturing,
emotional,
and yeah. Like fences is a great analogy. Have you seen Fences?
The movie?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you seen Fences or the play or even just that one clip where the kid was like, I don't think you like me. Bro, I don't need to like you. I pay for everything. Are you here? Do you got clothes on your back? Do you got food? All of that kind of stuff. Like, these things kids overlook because they're so entitled that they think that, oh, you got to come to all my games. You got to support me emotionally. You got to do all this stuff. No. I will supply your needs, your clothes, your food, where you live. Like, that's it. I don't need, everything else is a bonus. So to be ungrateful because you didn't get the extra stuff is crazy to me. Crazy to me. Like, I'm livid. Like, for real.
I wish I could see him right now. He really is. He really is mad.
Like, everything else is
He's big mad.
Like I said, like, everything else is a bonus, bro. Like, if I come to your game, that's a bonus. And I came to games. You know what I'm saying?
We're gonna agree to disagree or disagree to disagree, but
Okay. And you can give me your take on it.
yeah,
you
my
know,
take
as
is
therapist.
a whole lot different.
Yeah, go ahead.
Because
give me your
I
take.
believe that when we set out to whether having a child is by mistake or planned.
There's no mistakes.
Right?
Unplanned or planned. There's no mistakes.
There's no, but anyways, you know what I'm saying. Like, I feel that every man and woman, but especially man, in my opinion, has a responsibility to that child. And it is to not just be there physically, but to be there for the child mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and help truly train that child up in the way they should go. Like, in all facets of life. That's what I truly believe. Like, I remember.
Okay. I agree with you on that.
I remember, and I feel extra blessed because, even though my parents divorced, my mom remarried, and my stepdad was such an amazing man, and I had a relationship with my biological father as well. And although I didn't get to see him only in the summers, most summers, he, man, I held my dad on the pedestal. Like, he could do, when I was a kid, he could do no wrong. Now, when I went to go live with him, like, I could, everything wasn't like, perfect and, what I thought it would be. But I still learned a great deal from my father. And I'm still learning a great deal from my father.
That's dope. That's beautiful.
I learned so much from him. And I'm super grateful for that, and I want to be that for my kids. And and going back to my stepdad, like I was very, very blessed to have an amazing stepfather. Not everybody has an amazing stepfather, and not everybody has a stepfather and a father that get along better than they get along with their mother. So, like, and that's how it was. Like, my dad and my stepdad get along better than what both of them got along with my mother. So that's wild too. So that shows you a lot about about that. But yeah, like that's what I believe. Like, as fathers, we're
so everything that you said, there's no disagreement right there. You said that a father should have the responsibility to be there for him physically, emotionally, spiritually, lead him, all that, mentally, all that. Okay, cool. Like, I agree with you. But my point is, if they don't hit that mark or hit that quota, that does not therefore give you the right to say that they're not my father because they didn't hit all of these arbitrary points. You know what I'm saying? Like, these, like I said, there's no book, there's no checklist, there's no one right way to do it, right? And so, what if he would have been there and he was a terrible father? You know what I'm saying? What if he was beating on that girl? You know what I'm saying? What if him not being there was the best thing for her?
It might have been.
You feel what I'm saying?
It might have been.
So it's like you retroactively going back and talking about the things that you missed. Like, I always go back to this. That's the first sin, was the sin of lack. Like, they had all of these plants and fruits that they could eat, but the serpent pointed out the one thing that they didn't have, right? And then that brought down the whole world. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because they miss an abundance, and that's what I'm saying on this. Like, she's clearly, from that clip, obviously I didn't see the whole thing, so and this is more of a generalization than just on her specifically, but I'm saying a lot of these kids, from what I'm hearing and what I'm seeing, they are clearly missing the abundance and only focusing on the lack. And that's the part that I have a problem with, is like, come on.
So I think, this clip of Trinity, there is, like, her dad, Rodman, really mess with her head, like, mentally, right? Mentally, and I would even say emotionally. There's a part where she said he came to her game, one of her games, to watch her play. Ended up watching it from the hotel because he was told not to show up because of who he was with. I don't know who he was with, but and she was mad, and she was on the field crying. Like, she's in a professional soccer game crying. Now, they ended up winning But she said she was so mad.
But wait, that wasn't even his fault.
What do you mean?
You just said he was told not to come because of who he was with?
Yeah, and she
What
was
does that
mad
even
because
mean?
she was mad because he was there.
Oh, she was mad because he was there, but he wasn't there?
Right. And yeah, and she was like, you effed with my head again, like talking about like because you're here. And then just, walking over towards him like so mad, like F you. I walk over there and
So hold on, time out. So is that, in your opinion, is that dishonoring your parents to
Yes,
walk up
that.
to them and say "f you"?
Yeah,
is
yeah.
that okay?
Yes,
okay, we can
that's-
agree on that.
that's
Go ahead.
dishonoring.
Okay, thank
Absolutely,
you. Okay,
that's
thank
dishonoring.
you. Let's go.
And so in the moment where she talks about him walking over and then her crying, that was that moment. Like she was so mad and crying in that moment, and people took it as like, oh, it's a great daddy-daughter moment. Like, nah, she was mad. She was big mad. Like how you big mad right now. She was mad.
Okay.
But it goes back to like her saying and feeling, right, that he makes everything about him. Like he wants to show up for her game, not really for her, but for him. And that's why,
her perspective, though. Like, that's her limited and immature perspective. Because if he wanted to make it about him, then he would just do something for him. Like, I don't think she understands who Rodman is. Rodman don't need her to make it about him.
I think, but here's the thing, like, if we talk about people who are narcissists, they do a lot of stuff that looks like they're doing it for other people, but they're really doing it for them.
Okay.
They're really doing it for them. But
again, we don't know the hearts of men, so we can't judge his, and she can't judge his motives. He showed up for her, to her game. How he showed up, that's neither here nor there. He still showed up. If he didn't show up, then it's, oh, he never shows up to my games. Then when he does show up, oh, he's only showing up for him. Like, what do you want?
I don't think she wanted him to show up in the first place. I don't think she was complaining about that. I think she was complaining about the, let's say the 18 plus prior years to him showing up to the game. Mm-hmm. And how it's just like, why are you showing up now that I'm a professional soccer player? Why are you showing up now that I'm in the limelight? And I will
because he helped her get her there.
No, see, and this is where we disagree.
Yeah, we disagree on that because if it wasn't for his, do you know how nice Rodman was in the league, bro?
Yes, but that was him, and he put in the work to do that.
Exactly. So, but if she would have been Joe Schmo's daughter,
it don't matter.
Then she wouldn't have been there. She wouldn't have been where she's at.
It does not matter. She had to put in the work herself. She got herself
there. That's obvious. No, she did not get. Nobody gets themselves anywhere. Dog.
But I'm
like that's
I'm
just
speaking
a fallacy.
I'm speaking in terms of she got to the level of where she is because she worked hard, not because she's Rodman's daughter.
Why did she work hard? Because she was Rodman's daughter.
No,
she was probably
because she chose to.
Anger. She was probably fueled by anger. No, I was playing. I don't know. What I'm saying is that you can't discount the fact that he is a part of her. She can't discount the fact that he is a part of her. Like her blood, his blood runs through her veins.
And she did not deny that. She said that.
Okay. So
she is my father by blood. That's what she said.
She did say that. And again, man, like I just feel like these kids, and I understand that people have mental issues. So I'm gonna call her mentally unstable.
You're gonna call her mentally unstable, but what about her dad?
We already know he's mentally unstable, so by default she's mentally unstable because we know Rodman is mentally unstable.
I think that she's just hurt. I think
that's the same thing. In my view, that's the same thing.
No, it's not the same thing. Being hurt and being mentally unstable is two completely different things. She is hurt.
No, their mental is hurt. That's why they're mentally unstable. You're usually mentally unstable because of hurt.
No, I think her heart is hurt. Her emotional state is hurt. And maybe there is some truth to like her mental, but I think that her heart is hurt. And I don't know if you've read this, but he put out a public apology. So it says, this is talking about Dennis Rodman. Sorry, I wasn't the dad you wanted me to be, but either way, I still try and never will stop. And so he wrote that on Instagram. I will keep trying, even when you're being told as an adult not to respond to my phone calls. I will try even when it's difficult, and if it takes a long time. I'm always here and tell you all the time, whether it's your voice or voicemail, how proud I am. I always had one wish, and it was, I wish my kids would call me and come see me. Hopefully one day I can get that. I'm here, and I'm still trying to pick up the phone. You have my number. You see me calling. I'm still here. So, I mean, I want to just go back to the point where he says, I wish. So, I always had one wish. So, he's talking about himself, right? I wish my kids would call me and come see me. Call me and come see me. Where were you their entire lives? That is the question
that's
that
unfair,
I have.
bro.
No,
that's
it's not unfair. No,
that
it is
is
not.
terrible.
That is
what?
not
Are you
unfair.
kidding me right now,
That is
bro?
not unfair.
Like, that is so unfair. You're saying, like, everything that he said in that letter, I've said that before. But what do you mean? Like, of course we want our kids to call us. Of course we want our kids to come see us. Like, we've been come seeing them their whole life. We've been there their whole life.
That's the point. He hasn't.
She just said that they was trying to live in his house. So obviously he was making a space for them. They didn't like the space that he created. That's not his problem. That's their problem. That's her problem. That's the mother's problem. Like, this is some, like, let me calm down. Like, that is not being narcissist, that you want your kids to call you. Don't you want your kids to call you? Don't you want your kids to say what's up to you? Don't you want, like, that's every parent's dream is for their kids to call them, man. That's not narcissistic. Like, what are you talking about? Like, that's crazy right now.
So you mean to tell me that after not being there for them?
No, that's her perspective that she wasn't there. He was a professional athlete, so by definition, his job was to not be there. He provided for them, obviously.
How old is she? She's like, what, 20-something? How long ago did he play? He played over, like, he was out of the NBA.
He was out of the NBA when she was born?
Let's look up. When did Rodman?
Rodman was in the league in the 2000s, bro. But that's neither here nor there. He was doing the job, right? Whether that was being on WWE or you know what I'm saying, whatever he was doing. You know what I'm saying? Like, she didn't say that. She said in that clip that they were trying to live with him, but they didn't want to live with him because of his lifestyle. Okay, I get that 100%. But that doesn't mean that he didn't provide the place. They just didn't want to be in the place that he provided. That's not his problem. That's not his issue. Yes, he has issues, of course, but that's different.
So she's 22 years old.
Okay, so that's the same age as my son. And my son was born in 2003. And Rodman was definitely in the league in 2003. He was playing for the Spurs.
What? Nah. It says Dennis Rodman played his final NBA game in the 1999-2000 season for the Dallas Mavericks.
When was he playing for the Spurs?
In 95. Well, let's see.
95?
Somewhere in 95.
95?
Yeah, man. Bro, this dude was out of the NBA when she was born.
Okay.
He had every opportunity to be not just a physical present father, but a father in every which way. Now, maybe he didn't know how to. Mm-hmm. Maybe he didn't know how to be there for her emotionally and mentally and spiritually.
Okay.
But, bruh. Like, we all know what Rodman was doing because he was out there in the public doing what he was doing.
He was doing books. He was doing marrying Carmen Electra. He was doing all kind of craziness.
Dressing up like girl in dresses and
yeah. I mean, he was, but he was out there earning a living. All that stuff that we're talking about, he was getting paid from all that. So he was out there earning a living, however that was. If it wasn't in the NBA anymore, it was definitely doing something else, which was crazy. But again, my point still remains is that every parent, whether she likes his version of trying, right? Maybe trying to him is, I don't know what trying to him looks like, but maybe she doesn't like his version of trying. But to him, he's trying, right?
That's wild.
That's wild, but
given all right, so we're talking about, I don't know how many championship rings he got. A lot of them, probably at least 4, right?
Okay.
This dude used to study the ball and the rotation of the ball, and after all his teammates would shoot it, so he'll know where to be and how to get the rebounds. You mean to tell me that he couldn't step up and be a better parent? No.
Yeah, but that's your version of what a better parent is. Like he said that he's been trying. Now, and again, we don't know the heart of the man, so we're not going to go into his intentions or whatever. But just based off of the apology or whatever that you read, it says that he's calling his parents or calling his kids, and they not calling them back. Is that basically what he said? He's trying to be there.
He's trying to be there.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, okay, cool. Now she's an adult. She's what, 20? She's 22?
She's 22.
Okay, now she's an adult.
That's
now, like what do you want him to do at this point?
Do better.
What?
But man,
what does that even mean?
What does that even mean? There are so many resources. All right, so
no. Like, what does that mean? Because do better to you and me is going to be different from do better means to her.
Figure out what that looks like to her. If he wants to have a relationship with her, not just Trinity, he has other kids too. So if he wants to have a relationship with his other kids, he needs to figure out how to do that. He this apology. Okay, maybe that's a start. Like, you're putting it on Instagram though. Like, why are you putting an apology on Instagram?
Well, because obviously she's not.
He has the numbers. He's calling. He's leaving voicemails. So
but she's not reading that.
No, she gets the voicemails.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean that doesn't mean she's listening. Or
okay.
That doesn't mean that she's listening or reading.
Okay,
like,
but
the best way for her to get that to her is probably on Instagram.
No, bro.
As a public figure, if I had a better way to get to my kids, I would do that because I know that they're not reading my texts or listening to my voicemails. So how else am I supposed to get it to them?
Okay,
if I was a public figure, then I would put it on
So
Instagram.
You're saying that that's the best way, like, given, like, let's say even though he has her number, she's not answering the phone calls.
If they're not picking up the phone,
she's not listening to the
they're
voicemail.
not listening to the voicemails,
and
like
maybe she's blocking the text message. But she did say in this clip that she answers the phone, just out of like, all right, like maybe I need to answer the phone for his sake. Maybe he needs to hear my voice in that moment. So that's her trying to take care of him again. Like, yo, again, meaning like it's about him and not really about her.
Well, it sounds to me like she needs to go into therapy.
Oh,
and fix
we
herself.
All need therapy. I need therapy.
Herself.
I'm a therapist.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like to me. Like she needs, this is more about her emotional hurt. This is more about her not feeling that she got what she thought or felt like she needed. Which is wild to me. Like, you're a professional athlete. You know how many people would kill to be a professional athlete? You know how many people work hard? Like, I don't want to hear that work hard stuff because I know a lot of people who work hard, but they never get there. You have to have certain opportunities given to you. You have to be in certain places. And because she was Dennis Rodman's daughter, she got those looks. I don't care what nobody says. She got those looks.
You think that because she was Dennis Rodman? So what happened?
Like,
What happened to Marcus Jordan then? Please tell me.
He was sorry. And he wasn't a real
because
basketball player.
Because he didn't work hard enough.
No, he wasn't a real.
He didn't work hard enough. He had Jordan's jeans. He didn't work hard enough.
He wasn't a real basketball player. That's not what he wanted to do,
Bruh.
That's not what he wanted to do. Like when you talk to Marcus Jordan or see interviews with him, you know he only played basketball because his dad played basketball. He didn't play basketball because he really loved basketball.
Okay.
You feel what I'm saying? Like it's a big difference. And I'm talking about all things being equal. Like obviously we both have kids and we've seen the ones that actually work hard and really want this more than anything else, and we see the ones that are just out there playing around because they're just there.
Yeah.
Right? So I'm talking about all things being equal. There's been people who work as hard as her, but we all know that to get ahead in this life, it's about who you know. It's about connections. It's about, Rodman. Oh, okay. Let's see what she's about. You know what I'm saying? Like there's different opportunities that you're going to get just because you are Rodman's daughter, just because you're Scottie Pippen Jr., just because you're so and so's son. Like you're going to get those.
So let's talk
looks.
about Magic Johnson's son then. Okay, if we're gonna play that card, let's talk about Magic Johnson's son.
Okay.
All right. So what happened?
What? Keep going. What about Magic Johnson's son?
Man, like we're talking about all these athletes that have like these genes. Like,
Okay.
what happened to Magic Johnson's son?
He's not a basketball player.
You think he ever played basketball?
Maybe, but he wanted to be a girl, bro. Like, that's not what he wanted to be. I'm talking about people who go out for athletics and wanted to be, they put their all into it. I mean, this is not a unknown fact. He's like he wants to be a girl. He didn't want to be no basketball player.
All right.
Am I missing something here?
No.
Oh, okay. That's what I'm saying. I'm talking about all things being equal. You need those breaks. There's no such thing as a self-made millionaire. There's no such thing as a self-made nothing. I don't care how hard you work. It's a lot of people that work hard, bro. Like, if working hard made sense, then the Jamaicans will have all the money because they work 3, 4, 5 jobs. You know what I'm saying? Like, that has nothing to do with it. Working hard is a part of it.
So
sure.
you're saying that the opportunity that Rodman, because
of who
daughter.
she is, yes.
What do you guys think? Do you guys think that?
And like I said, I'm not saying that you don't have to work hard. Not saying that. But just the same with girls be like, just because I'm pretty doesn't mean blah, blah, blah. No, you're there because you're pretty. Yes, you worked hard. Yes, you may be qualified. Like that's all cool. Like like all things being equal, you're going to get the edge. Like I've been a hiring manager before. Like I see the applications that come in. And sometimes it's one thing that separates you from the crowd. It's one minute thing. And it may be because you're pretty. It may be because your last name is Rodman. It may be because you're black. It may be because you're a woman. Like, people have to fill certain quotas. People have to, all things being equal, it's always going to be one thing that separates you.
So would you say that one thing that separated Kim Kardashian from all the other pretty girls was Ray J and the video that they made?
Do I feel like because Kim Kardashian had the sex tape that's why she is who she is?
Correct.
I'm sure that's a huge part of it because I didn't know who she was before the tape. And then once I found out who she was, I was like, oh, okay. Yeah.
I think
she was, but think about this. Like, once you realize who she actually is, right? That's what pushed her over the edge. She wasn't the only one with a sex tape, right? But she was a very well connected person with a sex tape. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, her mom, it was Ray J. Brandy was popping at the time. You know what I'm saying? Like, her dad, who her dad was.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, these are all things that make it connect. And then, obviously now they have a empire.
This is crazy.
What?
This is just the connection piece.
Yeah, because like, people try to
because
overlook
I think
because there's no such thing. Like, we all need each other. Like, we're all
I think people would
connected.
disagree even with that. Like, I think people would say, like, no, Kim is who she is because she worked so hard and
Worked so hard at what? What does she do?
like built an empire.
But what does she do? I said. Built the empire on what? Like, what does she do?
Owning multiple businesses, reality TV shows, like.
Okay, what does she do? You said she's owning multiple. She owns multiple businesses now. But when she
Right.
blew up, like what
What was she doing then?
what was she doing?
I have no idea.
Exactly. Thank you. She was just being, like I said, she's very well connected, and they use that buzz. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, let's create a show. What's the show about? What is even the show about? Have you ever watched any of those episodes? You're just like, what are they doing?
Yeah.
Nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like,
All right, this is. I really want to see the comments about with this episode because I'm serious, man. Like, I'm serious because
I don't know. Like I said, like entitlement. It obviously it struck a chord with me, you know. But we just have to understand that our parents are products of their parents, are products of their parents. You know what I'm saying? Like the environment that our parents put us in, the environment that we grew up in, is products of, you know, things that we had no control over, right? As kids, but if we only focus on the negative, right, and not the positive, like I said, like I never even met my father. I don't even know. I know like about maybe 3 minutes worth of stuff about him, right? But I also understand that I wouldn't be here without whatever happening. You know what I'm saying? Like I wouldn't be able to be a blessing to people around me. I wouldn't be able to be the person that I am. Like I could focus on the fact that I didn't have a father. You know what I'm saying? Like
Right.
I could do that. You know what I'm saying? Like I could focus on all this stuff. I can go find them and go cuss them out and go do all of this other stuff. But how is that going to help me in my life?
it's not. And that is a good point.
It's not.
It's not going to.
It's not. Me focusing on the lack of me having a father is not what I choose to focus on, right? I
Right.
choose to look at the fact that I did have a mother that tried to put other, you know, male figures in my life. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? And I focus on the fact that the absence of my father pushed me to be something that maybe if he was there, I wouldn't have been pushed to do.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
I focus on that, and you know, I hope that this young lady, you know, I know I talked a lot of crap about her, you know, on this episode, you know, but there's no hate, there's no shade. This is more of a she's just a microcosm of a bigger issue, you know what I'm saying, that I see with kids. Even I'm reading this book by Rabbi Daniel Lapin, and they did like a study of how many parents are evicting their kids, right, in a certain city or whatever.
Evicting their kids?
Evicting
like from
their
the home?
kids. Yeah, from them not paying rent or whatever like that.
Oh.
And like there's none, right?
Mm-hmm.
But there's all these cases of kids evicting their parents for not paying rent, right?
Wait,
And-
what you mean? Like as they got as older parents? Like
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
adult children?
Like adult children are evicting their parents. There's lots of cases, and judges are throwing them out. Like, you gonna throw your father out because he hasn't paid rent in a month or 2 months? You know what I'm saying? It's like, oh, but judge, he hasn't paid no rent. Like, what are you talking about, bro?
Wow.
Like, it's your parent. This person put their life on the line for you. No matter how you feel about whether they were there or not, like, it does not matter. You feel what I'm saying?
Right.
But, you know, and a lot of times kids won't get it until they have somebody who is totally dependent on them. Like, that's how we are as humans. We care more about the people that we help rather than when we receive help. So that's why, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, it's a big thing where kids are very entitled, you didn't do this for me, you didn't do that. And their parents are just like, what are you talking about? Like, our whole life changed. Like, we was, you know what I'm saying, eating caviar and going on mad vacations before you got here. And our whole life, we had to change our whole life for you. You know what I'm saying? Like, we had to do all these things for you.
Yeah, but the kid didn't ask to be there.
That's not the point. Sure, the kids didn't ask to be here. Nobody asked to be here. Like, that's not the point. The point is that I changed my whole life for you, and I made all these sacrifices for you, and now you're mad at me? you're mad at me because I didn't show up to your baseball game, or you know what I'm saying? I didn't give you all the love that you thought that you desired. You know what I'm saying? Like, did you have a roof over your head? Did you have clothes on your back? Did you have food in your stomach? You know what I'm saying? Like, if you had all of those things, like, everything else is a bonus. And I get that the world that we live in, you know, we want to coddle and we want to, you know, and you may see parents who are there all the time or there or whatever, and that's cool, but not everybody has those same circumstances. So, you know, villainizing the parents, you know what I'm saying, it's just a form of entitlement. It's a form of focusing on the lack instead of the abundance. It's a sin.
I do feel you in the. We shouldn't be focusing on the past. We shouldn't focus on the lack thereof, because it's not helping anything in the present.
It's not helping anything,
and it won't help anything in the future.
We all gotta heal. I get that we gotta heal, and I get that no matter how bad the parent was, like even if, like you said, that letter from Rodman is just the start. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
She might not even accept that because she's gonna be like, oh, well, he's just being narcissistic. He's just doing this for show. He's just like, you don't know that man's heart. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Maybe he wrote that or had his publicist write it when he was on the floor drunk and you know, just like feeling really bad about all the decisions that he made, and he wrote that or had his publicist write it. Excuse me, because it sounds like a publicist wrote it. But you know what I'm saying? And he felt those feelings in that moment, right? And so you have to understand we're all human, bro. Like, we all make mistakes. None of us are perfect. There's no rule book. There's lots of books about parenting, but they all say different things. So there's no one way to do it. You know what I'm saying? And what you feel is love, you know what I'm saying? It may not be the way that I show love. We all talk about like all these love languages and all this kind of other kind of crap. So that just means like everybody has different ways of showing they love.
Yeah, everyone has a different way of showing the love, but when it comes to like receiving, like that's when we get out of our own comfort zone of how we show love, and we show love the way the person that we're trying to show love to on how they receive love.
I get that. But when you're a kid, you don't even know how you like to receive love. So
yeah, you do.
No, you don't.
Yes,
no,
you
don't.
do.
No, you start developing that as you grow. But when you come out the womb, you don't know how you like to receive love. You don't even know how to talk.
Not when you come out the womb. No, not when you come out the womb.
So
but
that's what I'm saying. When you're a kid, when you're 0 to 10, you don't know those things.
No, when you're 10, you definitely know how you receive love. You definitely know. Absolutely.
I don't necessarily.
Man, there can be a kid who like does not like to be touched or coddled or held or hugged like that. You know, like I do not like back up. Like you too close. But if you tell them like, oh, like I really like the way you did this, and they light up, like that's how they. Oh, okay, words of affirmation. They love words of affirmation. They definitely at 10 years old, absolutely.
Okay, all right. Well, I'll concede that, but they're learning though.
Yeah, they're still learning.
They're not able to articulate that.
They may not be able to articulate
exactly. So that's my point.
And my point is, as parents, we need to learn how our kids receive love. And it's way more easier for us to do than for them to do because they're so young. They don't even know what that is.
Right.
You know
exactly.
what I mean? But as parents, we need to.
We should. That should be a general rule. But every parent is not going to do that. We can't tell somebody in an Islamic nation that. You know what I'm saying? Because they don't care about that. You see what I'm saying? Like, we're coming from our privileged American society where we have to coddle our kids and go to other games and do all this other kind of stuff. Like, that's just societal norms. It's different in Canada. It's maybe not Canada, but it's different in England for sure, because I've been to England. It's different in Germany. It's different in Islamic cultures. You know what I'm saying? Like, they don't necessarily have to do all of those things that we do in our American society. So we have this veil over our eyes, like it's supposed to be this way.
So you're saying that how people in like different countries, like they receive love differently than how we receive love?
Yeah. 100%.
Based on what though?
Culture.
Okay, so
And that's
yeah.
what I'm saying. I'm specifically talking about like in different cultures they do things differently, right? They have 7 days for their wedding, right? They have
Yeah, but that
where
doesn't-
everybody lives in the same house. You know what I'm saying? They still have those cultures where the dad doesn't even talk. You know what I'm saying? Like you have to respect the dad. Like you can't say anything to dad. You have to kiss his ring. You have to touch his foot. You got to do all of these things that he's not going to your games. He's not doing none of that stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like he's the head of the household. You respect pops, and his word is final, and blah blah blah. Like that's their culture. But our culture is, you know what I'm saying? In America.
So you're saying traditionally and culturally speaking, in different countries, love will look different. Love is shown different, and it is received differently.
Correct. 100%. 100%. Yeah.
Okay.
Because fences, going back to fences, right? And even going back 50 years in our country, right? The culture was different, right? Men went to work and women stayed at home and cared for the kids. Overall, for the most part, right? Obviously, there's always exceptions, but as a culture, right? That's what happened. Men didn't cry. Men didn't. There's all these things that men didn't do, right? They went to work. They came home. They took care of the family. And like I said, that Fences is a perfect snapshot of how culture was in that time, right? Like I took care of the house. Like my grandfather even said that. You know what I'm saying? Like he had 9 kids, so he was working all the time.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? He wasn't there. He wasn't going to games. He wasn't going to like my uncles were like into music and all this other kind of stuff. Like there, he never went to none of that stuff. He could when he could, but like that wasn't his job. His job was to provide shelter and food for all these knuckleheads, as he would say. You know what I'm saying? Like he had 5 boys, 3 girls. Like, nah, they wasn't playing that. 4 girls. My bad. Five boys, 4 girls.
Yeah, your math wasn't math right
Yeah,
there.
my math wasn't mathing. They had 1 bathroom. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, and it's crazy because I interviewed my uncles and aunts and my mom recently, and I said, "Yo, how did y'all survive with 1 bathroom?"
Right.
And they all looked at me puzzled, like, "What are you talking about? Like, we just did."
It was nothing.
There,
It was
like
nothing
that's
to
what I
them.
mean. Like that's just how they were.
He was like, we had a bathroom.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly. We had a bathroom in the house.
Yeah.
Like they were happy to have a bathroom in the house, and they just did it. There was no complaints. There was no, you know what I'm saying? Nothing. They 1 bathroom. I was like, man, y'all are rock stars. Like I don't know. Like I got 3 bathrooms and there's 2 of us, and I'm already like, yo, man, why she always in my space?
we spoiled over here.
We spoiled, you know what I'm
In
saying?
America.
And that's what I mean about the entitlement. With our kids, we love to focus on lack as a culture, right? We love to complain about lack as a culture. You know what I'm saying? And being grateful is, you know, the key in my opinion. You know, and like I said, it's in the Bible. Honor thy father and mother, so your days will be long. So, yeah, man. I know. You know, I kind of animated this episode. You know, because this really
But it's good.
grinds my gears.
It's good. It's good.
It really grinds my gears. But you know, just if I would leave y'all with one thing, I would just say focus on your abundance. You have everything you need already, and whatever you went through is preparing you for what you're going through next. You know, whether that has to do with your parent, you know what I'm saying, your job, like, you know, she's 22, so I get it. You know, at 22, she's not all the way, you know, grown up yet. You know,
And it doesn't. It's not the end. It doesn't mean it has to be the end.
yeah,
Of,
I hope
they reconcile.
Yeah, I definitely hope they reconcile.
Yeah, I hope they
Because
reconcile.
that shows hope for me. You
That
know what I'm
shows
saying?
hope for me.
That shows hope for you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like all this stuff that you're doing right now for your kids, you know, they could forget it all. You know what I'm saying? One thing could happen. You know what I'm saying? And you know, now they're mad at you. You know what I'm saying, for years.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And they forget about all the stuff that you've been doing for them, you know, for all of these years because of something that hurt them. Like you said, hurt.
Right.
And so, you know, I don't wish that on you at all. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause
Yeah.
I know it's painful as a father, as a parent, you know. But, hey, just be grateful. You know what I'm saying? Take lots of pictures, man. Take lots of pictures and
Lots
photos.
of pictures, yes.
Photos,
It's not.
videos.
Let's not focus on the past, like Callie said. Like we definitely need to be in the here and now, and the future. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, that's our show for today. We appreciate y'all stopping in and checking in on us. Leave some comments, man. Let us know what you think. I'm sure I'm gonna get a lot of hate mail, but it's all good. These are just my thoughts. You know what I'm saying? These are the things I not struggle with, but you know, these are, like I said, gratitude, attitude of gratitude. Let's focus on the abundance and not the lack. Y'all have a good day. We out of here.
Peace.
Thanks for tuning in to today's episode. We hope you found our discussion enlightening and empowering as you navigate the rewarding journey of fatherhood. Don't forget to follow us on socials, join the conversation, and share your own experiences. We're here to support and inspire each other, one episode at a time. Until next time, keep empowering the dad in you.